To make an introduction about interactive read aloud is when a whole group of instructional contexts in which you read aloud and select the text, the whole class occasionally and selectively pausing for a conversation. This is the meaning in which the teacher passes in front of the whole class, doesn't matter if they have 20, 30, 40 students. You have in front of the class, you have to read aloud the story that is proposed for the class. Also, the students is mandatory to listen the reading and follow the lecture. But the thing is, it's obligated for the teacher to make pauses, doesn't matter if between a sentence, paragraph or a page. And students think about, talk about and respond to the text as a whole group or in pairs, trade or quads. More commonly, it's individual. Both readers and listeners actively process the language, ideas, and meaning of the text. So, in other ways to say it, it's mandatory to the teacher to make questions and make pauses to make questions for the reading. Obviously, the thing is, what the teacher is going to do is about reading comprehension. Obviously, and also the students are obligated to think about, to comprehend, to make solutions, and to understand the problem, the setting, and the plot of the story. About the interactive read aloud at a glance, the whole group instructions. This is the way when the teacher gives one simple instruction to the whole group. Doesn't matter if they are going to work individual, as a per group or group. Teacher reads aloud and select the text to the children, occasionally pausing for discussion. Is the way of reading comprehension. Texts are organized into text sets for highly intentional teaching. It's what are you going to do during the hours you have the class of language arts. Texts are beyond the instructional reading level of most children. Remember, all the levels of the children skills are from beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So the texts are going to be from the beginners, from the intermediate, and from the advanced people. Children are listening to the text and viewing the illustration. All the stories commonly have pictures inside their pages. This is a way of how a story is going to be very interesting, and also the pictures are help to the student to understand better the story. The text-based discussion helps children construct a meaning. Always many books or many stories have a glossary of words that you don't understand. These words are going to be new for the student. So these ones are going to be helpful to understand what is the story is going to talk about. And children make connections between books and the text set. So it's the way how you put the glossary, or you put the word of the new glossary you have to create inside the story and get knowledge and understand the way of the story.
Well, now, what is interactive read aloud and how this strategy can be implemented in the classroom is the topic that we're going to see in this moment. So let's start. What is interactive read aloud? Interactive read aloud is a strategy that the teacher uses in the classroom to encourage students to read. Through the reading, the teacher uses expressions, gestures, different voices to different characters to catch the students' attention, to get involved the students in their learning process. How to choose a book or a story to read in the classroom. It is important when choosing a book to take into account the student's age. According to the age, the teacher will decide what is the better choice in the moment. As we know, the students like the kinds of books who are meaningful, colorful, and interesting books. They enjoy the kinds of books in the classroom. The purpose of using interactive reading aloud in the classroom is that the students is encouraged to have an active participation in the classroom through making predictions and discussions in groups and checking for understanding. And in this strategy, the teacher asks questions to the students. For example, before to start reading, the teacher presents the cover page of the reading, and she asks the students, what do you think the story about? What does the story take place? And the students start thinking, start making predictions to guess what the story is about. Benefits of using interactive reading aloud in the classroom. When implemented this strategy in the classroom, the students are expected to have an active participation and get involved in their learning process. And the most important thing is that they are able to build their own knowledge, to construct their own knowledge that they can relate it to the daily life beyond the classroom, and that becomes personal experience for the students, and that's why this strategy is very, very important and useful in the classroom.
How is a play example? At the moment the reading aloud, the teaching strategies are played depending on the degree. That is a taught, that is a teach, how an expert reader behave, what are the rhythms, the fluency when reading the tones, what to do in front of a mistake or uncommon words. Also, one of the important aspects when speaking is when you do a good reading. One has a good lexical and a high vocabulary, but when having a conversation, whether social or educational, reading aloud helps to fill your vocabulary and fluency when you can exchange words or when you can read speech.
Hello, I'm going to continue talking with the definition, processes, and teaching strategies in read aloud. Okay, first we're going to start with the first one, that is microprocesses. Here in microprocesses, we're going to make sense of elements in sentences. Okay, we're going to make connections. We're going to have a sentence level connections. In a sentence level connections, we're going to read aloud. We're going to be reading for fluency, and we're going to be practicing in reading. Okay, that is the first one that is talking about the microprocesses. Now let's see number two. In number two, we have a integrative processes. In integrative processes, we're going to make connection with adjacent sentence. What does it mean that we're going to make connection with adjacent sentence? That it means that we're going to have a connection with ideas of what we are reading. Okay, we're going to connect of what is coming through us, our mind, that we have an idea about what we are reading. Okay, let's see number three. Number three, we have elaborative processes. In the elaborative processes, we're going to have another connection, but now we're going to have a connection with our personal experience. Start thinking aloud. Let's see number four. Number four, we have macro processes. In macro processes, we're going to have a main idea. What does it mean that we're going to have a main idea? A main idea is that we are going to come and we're going to read, okay? And then we're going to summarize. We're going to summarize what we are reading. And after we finish reading, and we summarize, we're going to have the topic, the text, and we're going to know the main idea of what we are reading. We're going to focus in the main idea of what we are reading about. Okay, that is macro processes. we're going to have the main idea of what we are reading in the topic or in the text. Now, at final, we're going to have the metacognitive. Okay, in metacognitive, we have our own understanding of what we are reading. And here we have a sport, we have rereading, we have self-correction because now we know what we are reading, and then we have a monitoring of what we read. Okay, this is an understanding of what is the whole text that we have in reading. Okay, that is metacognitive, the understanding of ourselves. Okay, thank you.
In conclusion, interactive reading allows an important learning opportunity for new and experienced readers because teachers and students can actively model and understanding vocabulary development, and a student strategy can attract new readers. And also it provides enriched opportunities for all students and pure knowledge, and maybe age and grade and appropriate text.